On the 5th of April, we went into theatres to watch the John Abraham starrer Romeo Akbar Walter, directed by Robbie Grewal, a director that is known for an underrated film like Samay When Time Strikes. The film focuses on the India-Pakistan War in 1971 and the ultimate formation of Bangladesh, previously known as East Pakistan, specifically laying emphasis on the placement of secret agents to communicate key information regarding attacks and confidential topics. The movie is loosely based on the categorical execution of orders by real-life RAW agent Ravindra Kaushik. The movie with its first look really came across as an exhilarating and nail-biting thriller that is going to keep audiences on the edge of their seats. Sadly, however, the movie, despite many of its positive aspects, suffers from many creative flaws that leads to its tiresome plot development. Here's me telling you the positive and negative aspects of the film so that you guys can take a final decision on whether the movie-going experience is worth it or not. The good moments. The movie has some exhilarating moments from the very first frame. It gets right into the action to already set you for the espionage thriller it is. Sequences of a chase ensuing, the secret agent getting questioned by the Pakistani army, and finally the individual's attempt to be in the good books of the enemy, not making it too apparent and always being cautious of his moves, creates moments which are ideal for a thriller. Scenes where key information or twists are communicated and at the same time, the agent has to put forth a poker face just showcase to you the dangerous and volatile environment in which they function. One wrong move and everything comes crumbling down. The director definitely does well at keeping the tension when the characters interact with one another. 3-star performers. There are 3 actors in the film that do all the heavy lifting, and despite many of the film's creative flaws, try their best to keep it as engaging as they can. Jackie Shroff as Srikant Rai is extremely suave and level-headed, a man who knows his job and knows when to be assertive or to take a backseat as everyone is in complete panic. The man showcases these qualities with ease. John Abraham as the secret agent Romeo, despite little to no character development done by the creators, does as much as he can when it comes to the content given to him. He is methodical, alert, and constantly reading everyone's move. Even though throughout the film Abraham has to be straight-faced, he can't do much with the mission at hand and the instructions given to him. Sikandar Khair, however, as Colonel Khan, has possibly put forth his career's best performance. I've never seen Khair be so comfortable on screen. A distinct tone at which he speaks and the absolute vigor and passion with which he executes tasks. The man really does grasp your attention whenever he is on screen. Untold stories and human treatment of the enemy. Lastly, the movie is an ode to the unsung heroes of our country. We can't even imagine to think the task to be carried out on the ground level in enemy territory, posing as other people to be constantly looking over your shoulder every step of the way. These are the men and women that were not celebrated yet were so key in giving India an upper hand when it comes to being ready for any contingent event. Furthermore, one positive aspect of the film is that despite Bollywood movies having the tendency to portray Pakistani officials as merely naive, is not the case in this film. Each character, like the nuanced Razi, are portrayed as humans, equally involved and vigilant as their counterparts. The bad. Lack of character development. When you see a spy or espionage thriller, you can't help yourself but compare the movie to a film of the same genre but much superior than it. When it comes to Razi, the reason for it to be so powerful is that we got to know the characters in and out. You knew Sehmat and the task at hand. You understood the relationship she shares and develops with her new family despite them being the enemy. Any kind of pain, love brewing, or loss was deeply felt. However, in this movie, you hardly know the main character and the close relationships he shares. The movie tries to invoke emotions several times, with his mother who does not want to ever leave his side, or a love interest that seems mysterious all the way around. Yet there is barely any time spent in developing the main character and the world around him, so an embrace with a mother or a romantic union, or even worse, a loss, is met with barely any reaction from the audience. Too many elements. One of the most tiring aspects of the movie is that it tries to focus on too many elements. As the movie is a thriller, this, rather than keeping the viewers on the edge of their seats, actually makes them tired as new information is brought up in possibly every sequence. One of the best qualities of any thriller is that it sets the world around the protagonist so we can understand and thoroughly know each person's relationship in context to the main character. This can be seen clearly in any of the celebrated thrillers like Razi, Badlapur, Andhadhun. You get get to know who they are and their relationships, which consequently then leads to the madness, which includes the twists and turns which are ideal for thrillers. In this movie, however, we get to the action so fast that we barely know who the main character is. How is it that this boy is so calm, calculated, and astute at his work, the same man that previously worked at a bank job? The number of characters, information, and subplots leads to the movie also being 2 hours and 30 minutes long. A rather exhausting ride. Finally, I would like to conclude by saying that in terms of its structure, I feel like the creators themselves were confused on what the theme was. It transitions from a national gritty thriller to an unnecessary romantic angle, from a suspense to a mother-son melodrama, from action-packed chase sequences to badly placed music. The movie never really finds its perfect flow. The moment it does reach a point of maximum attention, it strays away to be something, aka appease the commercial audience. It really didn't have to do so. The movie is a brave attempt at telling us a story the majority had no clue about. However, its execution becomes rather tiring and exhausting. I was expecting a better executed espionage thriller, especially after looking at the trailer, but the movie definitely in that regard was underwhelming. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the movie. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.